What? I mean, first of all, hello Glenn. How you doing? Second of all, what? What was that about my silly little sausage? It's actually quite average. That is a tragic tale. I went to go make prep some creatine and BCAA drink, and I came back to find that message. I have no idea. I don't understand. Oh, actually, I don't even have Discord open either. So unprepared for streaming. I'm just very unprofessional. Mouse and Mandalorian armor. Ooh. Very good choice. The Mousalorian. That's very good. That's the kind of clever wordplay that we like here. Without further ado, let's actually jump to the stream page. Encoding overloaded. Ah, that's what that is. Oh, the live notification said something about little sausage. Yeah. I think I call people a silly sausage when they get the email from me. I probably need to update that, surely. It's been a while since I got a new one. New message. Mousalorian. Okay. I've never seen The Mandalorian. So, gonna have some creative and go with some creative liberties about that. The one thing I know about Mandalorians is that in the Star Wars histories, there was like a war between the Jedi and the Mandalorians, and because the Jedis have lightsabers, the Mandalorians adapted to just fire, instead of lasers, they fired like buckshot. It's just like, pfft. It's like, block this, you fucking space priest. Hello, Silent. Machamp? Okay, we'll add that to the next part. So currently drawing a Mousalorian, a Mouse Mandalorian, a Mouse of Mandalore, if you will. And then I will draw a Machamp. I hope you are well. I hope everyone is well. This is a pretty basic looking Mandalorian helmet. Hold on. Let me grab a reference, because I can use a reference here. I opened my Google, and what my previous search had been how long do you have to be squatting for squatters' rights to just give you the house? And not for any particular reason, gang, but as it turns out, it's 15 years in Adelaide. Parry this, you filthy casual shotgun pump. Exactly, which is what I love about the Mandalorians. At some point, the Mandalorians were at war with everybody. Yeah, but that's kind of their whole thing, isn't it? That they were like a constant warring people, or a constant battling people. That's what happens if weapons are your religion. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And it probably needs a hole for the ears. It's when Disney acquired Star Wars, essentially. Mandalore. This is the way. That's all I know. That's all I know about the Mandalorian. Mandalorians, what happens when you let Americans and cells mingle and left unchecked. Yeah, exactly. But because it's in space, it's cool. It's cooler, not horrifying. Not quite as horrifying. You do not know Mandalore. um, what's his name? Jin? I don't know. Celts. Celts. Now I understand. Not just cells like prison cells. Just bought templates for a cardboard Mandalorian armor. Ooh, that's cool. So you have a project for the day. Watched all the Star Wars and you started again? Nice. Tonight we'll watch The Phantom Menace. Ooh, that's cool. I have very little memory of many of the Star Wars movies, other than the originals. Din Djarin. Din is the family name. Ah, okay. Now I understand. Yeah, I've not seen The Mandalorian, even though I do like Pedro Pascal. But who doesn't like Pedro Pascal? Let's be honest. He's good in a lot of things. Actually, he's good in everything, even the stuff that's bad. He was good in Wonder Woman, and I can't even remember the name of the movie, like the full name of the movie, but he was good in that. He is a cutie. He is a cutie. I agree. He's got charm and anxiety, so I relate to him. I relate heavily to him, really. He was in Buffy for one episode. Yes, I know about that. Yes. Young Pedro Pascal was in Buffy. I've just done the helmet. I mean, it's a good looking helmet. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. This is the way. And then wrap around, because Mandalore. It is the will of Mandalore. Or whatever they say. If I am voicing like this all correctly, it's pure luck. I know shit all about Star Wars. Weirdly enough, I'm not a huge sci-fi fan. Not that I dislike sci-fi, I just don't get into it. If you know what I mean. I always happily freak out when I recognize an actor in something that I didn't expect them to be in. Yeah, that's fair. That is kind of cool. Watched Arthur the King last night in a sneak preview. Ooh, what did you think of it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it fine? I find that's one of the things that I feel less compelled to go out to movies and stuff purely because a lot of the movies I've gone to see have just turned out to be fine. And for me, that's almost worse than them being bad. Because you can't make fun of them then. It's just a little pudgy little like Animal Crossing legs. It was mid. Of course I cried because it's a dog movie. That's fair enough. The beginning was quite boring, but it got better. Nice. Okay. At the very least, that sounds interesting to a certain degree, right? I think that's one of the things for me is that I've been slowly burnt out on films just because so many of them in the past few years have been just so meh. You know? And as someone who has a degree in film and in film studies, that is deeply disappointing that I would graduate and hopefully go out to study all these, see all these new films and stuff, and they all just turn out to be meh. And it's like, this is terrible. I have qualifications to review films critically. And all the films that are coming out, I don't even really need to explain why they're bad. Space Invaders is amazing. You love old trash horror. Yeah. Yeah, if it's bad, there's still something to enjoy about it, even if it's just to make fun of how bad it is, right? Back when all special effects were made practically, yeah. I feel like we really need to go back to that, because, I did want to bring up the Fallout TV series. I've heard a lot of good things about that. And one of the good things I heard about it is that Codsworth, the robot, apparently looks fantastic. And I've seen stills, and he does. Codsworth does look amazing. Like, genuinely really, really good. And he is practical. He's a practical effect. Which I think is, mostly practical effect. I'm sure there are some bits that are CG, but for the most part, he is practical. The first 2 episodes were good. Yeah, I've heard, yeah. So I'm really, like, interested and curious about it, because I've heard plenty of good things about it. And let's be honest, the Fallout TV series has been in development hell for years. For, like, years and years and years. So it's cool that it's actually been made. And I also really like the lead. So her name's Ellie Parnell or something. Oh, not Parnell. Perel, I think. Her name's like Ellie Perel. Lots of violence. That's okay. I think we've gotten so used to hyper-violence on TV at this point with Game of Thrones and then, you know, The Boys and then Invincible, then all those kinds of things. Always look at the scene design, costumes, and props. Yeah. I mean, like, the prop and costume design looks really good. Let me just check. Ella Purnell. Actually, I was right the first time. So Ella Purnell, who plays the main character. I don't know the character's name or anything like that, but she's very good. She voiced Jinx in Arcane. And so now she's been a part of 2 successful video game adaptations. And yeah, she's very good. And she played Fallout as well to get... I mean, I feel like you're kind of almost encouraged to say that, but I do believe her when she says that she played it to get immersed in the series. That would be a dope field to work in, but I'm insecure and need more practice. I understand that. I feel like it would be super cool to work in, and I've worked with people who do prop design, because again, I have a degree in film, and so I worked on films for a little while. And I worked with prop makers and special effects, like practical special effects people. And it's always really fascinating. I worked on a student film in which a character is stabbed to death, and they're supposed to be stabbed in multiple arteries, so they gush blood. And so we had a practical body double, which was really cool. It was like basically just a torso and legs that was filled with pipes that were full of blood, and basically they like just squirted blood out of all these little like predetermined stab wounds. It's fantastic. Duh. Which is the way? There, because the helmet's too big. There we go. Perfect. We have a mouse DeLorean. I just drew the helmet and then I was like, what do I do for here? And then just boop, the rest of the mouse. No pants because, hey, that's how I draw mice. Mice don't wear pants. I gotta draw Machamp in a second. But it's good that we're getting the warm-ups done as well. Got a big old buckshot for any Jedi that come by. This'll stop the Jedi. This mouse with a giant buckshot. I also made a shirt yesterday, which was fun. 2 hours went by without even noticing. Ooh, what'd you do with the making of the shirt? Was it like tie-dye or was it screen printing? Was it heat press? Those are the ones I know of. Oh, no, not vector. Not vector. Length plus magnitude. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's a layer type. A vector layer, but I just think of that dweeb from Despicable Me. Okay. So I'm gonna look up Machamp. And I get 1 second to look at it. I know what Machamp does look like. Muscular dude with 4 arms and a bit of a face. Shouldn't be too hard to do. It's not finished yet, but put a pic in the Discord. Yes, please. That would be awesome. I'd love to see it. Okay, Machamp. And honestly, drawing Machamp should actually be quite helpful for practice for this new character as well, who is also very muscular. Then again, people know at this point that I've made some of the women or the major female protagonists in this comic series quite muscular. Not for any particular reason, it just makes sense story-wise. Eyes dart left and right. Panickedly look around. But yeah, because I did like an audience test of a character of Patelli. You'll all know who Patelli is because you've seen concept art and stuff. But I did like an audience test for Patelli in a different stream, and they frickin' adored her. It's just fully muscular, like goblin. Very, very, like many, many fans, which is good. Definitely not how this guy looks, but I'm adding embellishment. And again, gotta make it rough because make it look rough because should be working on this quickly. So we draw the traps in. And a Machamp would have like pretty fucking gnarly traps because it's got 4 sets of arms. Just gonna draw the hand like that. Oh, that's terrible. That's not a wrist. I know how to draw arms, surely. Muscular arms, I just need to look down. At my own. Not to brag. Oh, that's awful. Hold on, there we go. Hey, look, gang, it's Cryo. And his muscular arms. Oh, elbow. And then rest of arm. Oh, that creatine finally paid off. These guys are fucking yoked. To think they don't have commercial gyms, like the Machamps don't. Machamps in the wild don't have any like commercial gyms, so they're just naturally this muscular and tough, which is terrifying. I'm literally like, so that thought, it's actually about gorillas, in that someone was like, gorillas in the wild have no, like, they don't go to gyms, so this is their strength, like, naturally, uninfluenced by modern kind of health and weightlifting and stuff like that. So can you imagine how strong a gorilla would be if it actually trained at a gym? Pick us up. Ooh, sweet. I'll check that out. Check that out now. Where's my post pickies? Pickies. Oh, cool. You're making it out of bed sheets. Not finished yet, but going for a futuristic setting. Yeah, because I can definitely, like, what's that kind of newfangled fashion, which is like futurism, and it's or tactical is like tactical fashion. Because I'm getting like vibes from that. Also, I must say I do love a high collar, a high round collar. I'm a big fan of that. Visually, that's just such a cool look. I'm not going to post this up just because... Wow, my brain's just gone flatline, sorry. I'm not going to post this up on the stream just because I'll leave it for the Discord. But it's super cool. I'm really keen to see what you do with it, because that looks... So far, that looks awesome. And I'd love to get into sewing myself as well, but I just... Do I have the time? Do I ever have the time, is the question. That's super cool. Thank you for sharing that with the Discord, Glenn. I'm really keen to see what you do with it. Also super keen to see what you do with those Furbies as well, that Furby project you had. Because you know me, I've never had a Furby myself, so I'm really keen. It's very much more, this is a very much more duck-faced Machamp. Really want to dip your whole feet into costume design because you really enjoy that? Yeah, you should do it. I think you're off to a really good start. Like, that shirt design looked like it very much looked like it held together, and it looks good. You got a clear like idea of it, which is great. Idea of what you're gonna do. Got one of those circle belts, don't they? Circle wrestler belts. And then it's got Speedos, which is just a triangle essentially. And then huge muscular legs because it's just the best. Ugh. Muscle line, hell yeah. Very squiggly, muscular line. It's one of my problems is that like, it's something about Clip Studio because when I use Procreate, it doesn't have this problem. So I'm trying to figure out what the problem is with that. Is that the lines get squiggly and weird for no reason. When you're confident enough in your own abilities, you'd love to make stuff for others as well. Yeah, that'd be awesome. If you, like, once you do feel that way, I'm definitely going to be putting in an order. See how that develops. Yeah. You do it at your own pace. You don't want to rush yourself. Do it, like, increase your options when you feel ready. But yeah, I would definitely do put in an order. Can't find anything with high enough collars for me. And also I'm just a sucker for jackets as well. I love a jacket. So if you make any jackets, you know I'm gonna be ordering one. And he's waving to his trainer. He's like, "Hey, trainer, I'm doing good. I'm winning this Pokemon battle. It's against the freaking Pikachu. I'm gonna win." And then the Pikachu decimates him, and he's just like, "Rah! Don't revive me. I lost fair and square. Do not resuscitate me. I lost in fair combat. I'm going to Valhalla. Pokemon Valhalla." Can you imagine if Pokemon, like Vikings, went to their heaven by dying in battle? That would be fucking grim. Because then their whole, like, the whole existence of Pokemon battles and stuff like that actually serves them in a weird, like, religious, spiritual sense. That's fucking grim. But also kind of cool. Like with Vikings. This guy looks like some of the guys I see at the gym. Except he's not wearing a shirt. Most of them wear shirts. Most, not all. big thumbs up. He's like, I'm doing okay. I'm not going to Valhalla. Not today. I'm winning. Though I do believe that Machamp was like the start of the whole like making Pokemon look like humans thing. That and Mr. Mime and Jinx. Not the arcane Jinx, but Pokemon Jinx. Now that looks weird. I just was slowly improving on the thumb, and then all of a sudden, the rest of the hand looked wrong. There we go. And that's, yeah, pen's okay. Probably need to do some fiddling with the pen settings, just because I don't believe that it is serving me well. Look at this little guy, he's just like, hey! How you doing? It's me, Machamp. I'm your Pokemon. He looks so happy. He'd be such a supportive gym buddy. Like, surely look at that guy. I love looking up to my stream and just seeing his little face. He's just like, yeah! You did it, buddy. You benched that plate. You killed that Eevee. That Eevee didn't see what was fucking coming. That'd be a terrible Pokemon, like, trainer. Like, genuinely, I'd be the worst. Like, I'm not a competitive person, but I feel like if I was put into a competitive world, I'd be like, I'm not letting them revive that Pokemon. I'm gonna deal so much damage, they're gonna have to take that Pokemon out of this gym in a body bag. Probably not. I think that's way too grim. Now that I've said it, too fucking grim. Though, now that I've said something dark about Pokemon, I do actually want to ask, if y'all were Pokemon trainers or gym leaders, what would your, like, gym be? What would your Pokemon gym be? Not just an actual gym, if Cryo is hiding in the chat. Just hydrating. Y'all better hydrate too. Did I just get my drawing glove wet? No, we're okay. A little bit. Your Pokemon knowledge is tiny, so you don't know? That's okay, have a guess. Oh, not a guess, but like... I mean, like, for me, I think you would probably have like a grass type gym, Glenn. And it'd probably be like a really nice outdoor garden. But it'd be grass and psychic type, so it'd be a little bit spooky too. Just a little bit spooky. You know, it'd have like the, you know, I don't know the names of the Pokemon, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that. But it'd have like the ghost type Pokemon as well, just hiding about. And so you'd have like little situations where you'd be like, oh look, it's a Bonsly, and it's just the little like bonsai tree Pokemon that's just like Bonsly. But then like a Ghastly's just hidden behind it, just like slowly eking out, and you're just like, ooh. This Glenn's garden gym is like nice during the day, but then at night all the ghost type Pokemon come out. And things like that. I think that's what I think. Plants and ghosts. Yeah, like an old Victorian greenhouse. Yeah! That would be so cool. Like, genuinely, that sounds amazing. So much so that I almost want to steal the idea as well for my own gym. But let's be honest, my gym would be a kitchen, and we'd only serve soup. We'd only have the soup. And it would be like, soup of the day, you're lost in the gym. The soup of the day is victory, but not for you. And I have chef-type Pokemon. I'm pretty sure there's no such thing. Chef-type Pokemon? Only soups. Yes. Only soups. In all honesty, I love a greenhouse. I do love a greenhouse, and my goal is to make or build a greenhouse in my place, but I think it probably would be a kitchen, just because I do like kitchens. I like cooking. I love cooking. That being said, I should really get back to my cookbook. Though it does also bring up a point. I've been thinking about it and discussing it on multiple streams about adding another stream, but it'll be bi-weekly, so every second week I'll do an extra stream. And originally it was going to be a comic stream. But today I had the thought that maybe it could be just a general art stream where I catch up on projects that I'm working on outside of the comic, or the comic itself, depending on timing. And it made me think, because I have the tarot cards, and then I also have the cookbook to work on. So, my thought process was basically that maybe I should open it up to being a stream about finishing up projects outside of the comic. So then I have more time to work on the comic in my own time. And then I'd also get other projects done, because I'm really close to finishing the tarot cards, but I get distracted quite easily. And I always like taking on new projects, so I need to start cleaning some up and finishing up on some. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep adding projects to my workload until I become tired. Insane. So I might test that, because I use Adobe Illustrator for the tarot cards. So I'll see how well it works and operates on stream, because it could just completely crash because it's an Adobe program, but it's definitely worth thinking about. Now, what do I need to add? Background of a sort. So we're going to jump back a few pages. And by a few, I mean one. Because Ratchet does a thingus. So we need a flag, we need some fairy nests, or bees nests, or whatever you want to think they are. Nests. And because if I get the tarot done sooner rather than later, then I can add them to the stream. And not only as hey, you want to get a tarot reading, but also as you can use the exclamation point character name. So you can go exclamation point Ratchet, and then you'll get a bio breakdown on Ratchet, but I also want to include his tarot card so that you actually see him. And you get a visual representation, especially if I'm drawing different characters at the time. And then I had the idea that maybe I include all the other characters and you have to figure out what their names are. So you go exclamation point Patelli and you'll get Patelli, but Patelli hasn't been introduced and probably won't be until chapter 4. Or, other characters as well. So if you actually guess the name, then you actually get the bio breakdown. Nothing that has spoilers in it, but you still get a little bit of something. And you also get to know the names of the characters who appear on different parts of the tarot. And that's one of my big kind of goals for this year, is that I create more integrations that include the comic, because the comic is the thing for this stream, these streams. Even in the gaming streams, it's like this. I wouldn't have started streaming on Twitch if it weren't for the comic. I wouldn't be here right now doing chapter 3 if it weren't for the comic. That's for dang sure. That's for ding dang sure. But yeah, I want more integrations that have the comic involved in them. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And some of the commands for like Ratchet and stuff will have music. And it'll be music that was composed by Mike, my composer, my friend composer, my composer friend, if you will. My friend composer. That's someone who makes friends. Not like is just likable and friendly, but is like, he creates them. But yeah, there's actually a Ratchet theme, like musical theme, that exists in the world. And it's about time I actually used it. That actually makes the flag, not flag, but flag actually, look a little too thickened. It's not supposed to look like that. It just needs to look like a flag. There we go. And then it's a bunch of trees, isn't it? Nope, no visible trees in the background, other than the trees that are there. Everybody get off my back. No, I'll add more trees, because this is a nice big frame. We want trees. We like trees. Tell you what, we like this character. I like this character a lot. This is Armella. And I think every time I've mentioned Armella, I've talked about how much I loved writing her character. And it was one of my goals that characters have potentially intertwined stories, but no character is necessarily dependent on another character story-wise. So Armella's story is, uniquely different to others, and it's not dependent on anyone because she's essentially a stranger to most of the people that she will meet here. But her story is still intertwined with other characters. Like what I was alluding to in the previous stream, there are historical events that affect a lot, if not all, the characters. Historical events of geopolitical and other various things. But no war. No war. Not in this one. No explicit kind of war in this series, because like I said in the last stream, I dislike the trope of war in fantasy stories. I've gotten cold to it. So there is no war to concern ourselves with in this comic. Nothing big, nothing major. But it's always a thing, isn't it? Battle of the Five Armies, Battle of Helm's Deep. I'm just using Lord of the Rings, which Lord of the Rings is amazing, but helped herald that Battle of Hogwarts by that hack. What else? Battle of Aslan or whatever is in Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe. Whatever battle is in that, or war of in there. War of the Vampires in Twilight. Whatever that's called. War of the Roses. That's actually just a historical event. But you get it. You get what I mean. Is that so commonly in like fantasy media there's just some sort of war? And sure, because it's a big wide world, there's gonna be wars, but the story's not centered around or fixated on a war. I think it's boring otherwise. It's what I liked so much about the Rat Queens comic. What the fuck? I just Control D. Nothing happened, thank God. But holy crap, that scared me. Yeah, it's why I like Rat Queens so much, is that it was a small world fantasy comic where it wasn't fixated on war. It was like focused on 4 women who were like a D&D party, and they all had like, you know, fascinating stories. They're all like fairly abrasive women, but it was great. It was so good. Like, like super cool, strong-hearted kind of women just be in a mercenary guild known as the Rat Queens, which was, yeah, very good name. But yeah, then the later series, it just got weirdly worse. Just weirdly terrible. Because it was like, it had run its full-length story, and so it needed to introduce a new story, but it decided to just go with like random shit instead. So the Rat Queens went to university, and I was like, but this is a fantasy world. Why is this the choice that they've made to make these fantasy women go to university? Yeah, it's very weird. Very weird development. Yeah, you know it's a bad sign when your final like season of a comic or show is like just all filler, like all feels like filler. That's a real bad sign. I'm actually currently having the opposite problem, is that I need to actually think of some filler for these comics. Because I feel like I've paced it fairly well, but I want to add some like dumb stuff. Dumb, goofy hijinks. Like Ratchet sets out to make donuts, which is something he did in the campaign. So that he just went on his own solo adventure to make donuts. And the party were all really worried about him. And he was like, I'm back. Hello. I've made donuts. I think I can color this now. I think. I don't want empty space. It's the only thing. It's the one thing I'm petrified of. Just pointless empty space. Not pointless, sorry. Needless empty space. Same thing. Tried not to say pointless, and I ended up just saying essentially the same thing. That's too big. Gonna make this one a cloud. This one's a cloud. Because I've not drawn clouds recently. Just draw a cloud. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I like that idea. I haven't drawn clouds in a while on this in these panels, so may as well. Now, one question I did have for myself is in regards to Armella, am I okay with this facial structure because it doesn't feel right? Gets in the soup. Hey, Sona. Get in the soup. Thank you for taking care of that and just getting in the soup just immediately. I appreciate it. No dilly-dallying. I hope you're doing okay. I hope your day has been good or is going to be good. I'm very quickly going to just grab a reference. I opened it and it literally is on the Armella page. So, that's good. That's exactly what I needed. I might also print this page off at work and then just stick it up on my wall here. Because it'll just make things easy. I'm now holding two different pens. Okay, so her facial structure, I mean, like, I really like her concept art, so it's why I'm trying my best to stay as loyal to it as possible, is that I just like it. Her facial structure is very interesting. The way it's turned out is her nose is a little bit smaller. Just, yeah, fiddling with semantics at this point, but it's important. To me. To me, the mouse. So... And I'm tossing up whether or not to include her eyes. So she's wearing glasses right now. So her eyes would probably reflect the light since the sunshine is pointing down towards them. But I don't know. Do we still want to see her eyes, is the question. Maybe. It does make things more visually interesting. I've realized I've drawn her lips wrong. Looking at the reference, her lips are just completely wrong. Gets the soup. Not completely wrong, but so for Armella's lips, I just did that. It's just an arch. There's actually no divot for her. Yeah, that's more like her. Though her mouth is also crooked and offset to very particular about these things. Her cheeks are also not like this round as well. She's actually got quite a boxy head. It's all intentional. It's all part of the plan. Yeah, she's got like a quite sharp jawline. But it's also because she's super tough. She's super hardcore tough, man. One of the most physically resilient characters we will see. Maybe that's a little too sharp. Maybe just a touch too sharp on this side. Yeah, how you doing, Sona? And also, if you're a gym leader in Pokemon, what would your gym be? That's the important question for the night. Even if you don't know Pokemon, that's totally fine. None of us do either. which means you have no excuse but to answer, even if it's bad. You're all good. You still gotta answer though. What kind of gym leader would you be? And if you don't know, I can always say what kind of gym leader I think you would be. Only sleeping Pokemon? Sleep type Pokemon. Is that a type? We don't know. None of us know. So you're safe. Like, if you don't know, you're safe. I feel like she's got more head than I've given her. I've not given her a lot of head space. I've made her face quite short, and that's part of what my problem is, I think. Is that I've actually made her face too short. Too stumpy. It's better. But only just. Also maybe just straighten it up. And then re-straighten it again. And who would have thought art is tough? Why is art so difficult? I have an iPad and my just entire PC setup just sitting here. Yeah. That's better. It all helps. The look. Because also, this is just not how I've drawn her nose. I gave her, like, Ratchet's nostrils. And humans, at least the way I draw them, do have different, like, kind of nostrils. There we go. That actually, like, that's made a huge difference to me in my own brain. That's made such a huge difference that the nose just looks better. So much better. Now, I'm not going to draw her eyes in this panel, I think. In my humble opinion, I think I'm going to leave her eyes out because she is staring directly into the sun at this point. So it does not make sense to me to include her pupils. And then we will get to see her face here. So we will see her eyes in this panel. We're good. Don't worry, gang, we're good. I also realized looking at the art, the concept art, she actually has a neck brace. Or a neck bracey thing, for lack of a better word. It's got something that actually covers her neck up. A collar, if you will. I think it's called a collar. God, Dingus. Dingus of the year. Goes to me, the mouse. Forgetting simple words. A neck bracey thing. Yeah, it's called a collar. It's called a doublet collar. Collar for el doubleto. With a little buckle, because why not? She's going to be wearing this fairly consistently, so why not make it as complicated as possible from the get-go? There we go. At some point I need to just start colouring in. And that some point is now. Let's colour. Yep, colours. So for this I actually need to introduce a bunch of new colours as well. We'll jump back to the previous page. Grab ratchets. Grab this top panel because it's actually really good for colour and colour space. Do the simple ones first. Ratchet is going to be fairly easy. Color-wise, we know his colors. Yep. Nope, not what I meant to click. There we go. I do have cover art of this as well. So the cover has been completed, like done, for ages. So A Long Trip Cut Short is the title of this chapter. And the cover art for it has been finished for so long. Like, no joke, ages. So I know what, like, generally what the colors Armella has on. But I think it's about just applying them effectively. And also, if I decide to change my mind, it'll be easier to fix the cover art than it will be to change my mind now. Prawn. My spine. My tender mouse spine. Did I? Fuck. That was not the color I meant to put in that hat piece. There we go. Okay, and now background is kind of as important and as easy to do. Oh, there's a tree line there. Yep, there we go. And then all these trees. My favorite trees. Like, easily my favorite trees. They're so cool and so fun to draw. I didn't finish drawing this one. Jesus. Talking about how much fun they are to draw, and I've not even come close to finishing them. God, I'm a fool. I'm a mouse fool. Yeah, there we go. Alright, back to the job. Actually, not back to the job. I still had things to finish and fix. Like that. That's about it. Yeah, cool. Now we're finished on that. by that I mean the entire comic. I'm done. I'm finished. Okay. So next is the resonant purple. So this purple is used to visually distinguish depictions of the empire or the ruling kind of party of Regale. So you can guess that basically their flags, their banners, things like that will all be depicted in this lavender-like purple. So it's known as, in the world as not Regale, it's known as resonant lavender. So, oftentimes you'll know that members of the Resonant Army and well-known Resonant sympathizers will have this purple or this lavender color. And you'll notice that I'm saying this while I am coloring Armella because it is poignantly important that you notice a key distinction in her color palette. Grandmaster's saved. Hey, Zombie Slayer! Yeah, there's a cooldown on it. Zombie Slayer. Just so you don't spam it. Because if you spam it, I'm going to have to ban you. No, I'm good. How are you? How you doing? I'm just casually dropping little hints in the comic about thinguses. Yeah. My brain doing a little pause. I should have saved though. Now that you said that, I almost didn't save as well because I was too busy telling you about the save feature. Which is hilariously ironic. I never spam anything, but valid to have a cooldown. Yeah, I mean, it's not for you. It's not necessarily for you. I trust you. I trust you implicitly. It's for other muckety mucks. Individuals who would abuse it. Like Torin. And Glenn. No, Glenn's the best. I wouldn't even dream of joking about that. Oh damn, I almost screwed you over, but you also saved you. Yeah. I was so busy telling you about the save feature that I almost forgot to save. But I did save, so we're good. We have... ad coming up. We got no problems there. Actually, what was that tree color? It's not going to be on this page. It's going to be ages back. Holy crap. Ratchet has covered some distance. That's for sure. Not a whole lot. Like, it's about 100 meters. But it's still some distance. Yeah, oh man, look at how freaking colorful and populated it is. I always feel weirdly bad if I don't just stuff every background with color and imagery. But I feel like that's unfair on myself. I'm being unfair. Do I have orange? I don't think I have orange. I do have orange. Cool. I need, in that case, green. I think this one's green. I think. But yeah, how you been? How you been, Zombie Slayer? This isn't the right one anyway. Just gotta go here. As far as this page. Okay. So actually it's this dark red. This is the dark red. That being said, I also need dark red for these. At some point. Super random, I've got most of the Witcher books and like, yes, fuck yeah, I got them. Oh, nice. Sorry, my nose just got so itchy for a second. What are they called? So like, yeah, the stories and stuff. My brother was reading them last time I saw him. He was enjoying them as well. So I hope you are getting super into them. I think the pink would look nicer. Not convinced. Not entirely convinced. Make it just lighter. Oh, God, that's dull. Dull grey. That's better. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. I'm gonna, yeah, make those colors. Yeah, nice. Get all the moss as well. I haven't read them because your book collection is too fucking big, but I will be reading them. Yeah. I mean, I get that completely. I have hundreds of books I haven't read yet that I want to read, but then I've just got an ever-piling stack. A stack of new books that I want to read. All of them that I want to read. Gonna add you on Discord because I've got a new Discord, so if you see a friend request, that's why. Easy as, thank you for letting me know, because if I'd not known who it was, I probably would have just deleted it. I'm gonna make this rock a different color because I'm not necessarily getting sick of the light blue like rock, but I think it's also a good idea to change things up. I also have this very deadly disease called procrastination. I'm pretty sure everyone in this chat has that disease to some degree. What are you procrastinating on? Out of curiosity, I feel like I could potentially help you beat that procrastination if I know what it is. Yep, I got that you don't want randos adding you, so thought I would let you know before. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that for sure. So thank you for doing that. Because, yeah, at this point, I'm fairly tech savvy, or tech and online, like, presence savvy, so I would have just been like, nope, I don't know you, goodbye. Delete. Delete, restrict. Track them down, realize it's zombie, go, okay, well, I may as well follow through, block you on Twitch. That's just like a super slippery slope, surely. I want a lighter brown for this one. So I'll take the ratchet brown and then just lighten it. Because I should be changing things up every so often. Just adding a bit of variety. Yeah. Making sure I'm not ignoring anyone because I would hate to do that. Accidentally or intentionally. Dislike it. Were there any green poplar trees? Let me check. I don't think I didn't draw any green. No, I didn't. They were all autumn colors, so just pick an autumn color, I guess. There's not a lot of this red. Oh, just procrastinating on reading them. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I understand that so well. It's so easy to just kind of fall into a routine of just forgetting to dedicate time to reading. Got a helicopter flying overhead. Y'all can probably hear that, surely. I got a really sensitive mic now, so it picks up pretty much everything. That's too dark. Yeah, I still have books from my birthday last year that I haven't read. As I said before, I dread the thought of being a phone married person, so I read. That's good. Helicopters are circling, gotta hide. They found out about my tax records. Oh shit. Oh shit, dude, they're gonna get me. The mouse's time is up. You'll never take me alive. Yeah, could you imagine? It says here that you didn't pay your taxes and then just like white phosphorus like tripwire grenade on my door. I'm taking out this entire street. You try and stop me. I really shouldn't be saying shit like that. Such a dangerous thing to say, because it's completely untrue. But people will believe it. Because people are idiots. People will believe anything. I wonder if I added... So I'm going to just test this. I don't know if it's going to actually look good at all. But I'm going to test it. Just that, do I paint in background stuff? Like what I've been doing with the brain shutting down. With the tarot cards. Wow, Jesus. Shouldn't have taken me that long to say that word. I should know that word well enough. Especially with Instagram and YouTube Shorts, I hate scrolling on them because I rarely learn anything. I'm just scrolling and doing literally nothing. So I have to snap out of it and go, oh, wow. Snap out of it like, hey, go fucking read, leave this TikTok bullshit. And you know what? After every time I read, I feel fulfilled in a way like I don't regret it. Yeah, exactly. Like so much of social media is just doom scrolling at this point, and it is horrible. Like, I fully agree. It's such a rut that you can't kind of find yourself falling into. Thank you for the hydrate, Zombie Slayer. I will take some sips and take a wee break. So, oh, sorry, that's probably quite loud for you all. I have, so BCAA, which is an amino acid, and creatine, which is for gym going. Both of them mixed together in water, and I'm drinking that. But my BCAA is mango flavored, and let me tell you, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking awful. Yuck. Yucko makes me feel icko, but it's what I've got. I have blood orange flavored BCAA next, but I need to get through this stuff first. I don't want to just waste some BCAA. I'm not that kind of mouse. How does that look? Does it look okay? I don't know. I don't bloody know, mate. I don't bloody know, Grummit. Does it look alright? I don't know. I'm not an artist. I am just a mouse. Looking at art, thinking that maybe I should give up. That's not the right thing to say. I don't know. I mean, like, in theory, it's a good idea to do it this way. In practice, I'm just a rat in a cage. Still all this rage, I'm just a mouse in a cage. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it feels rewarding even if you have to force yourself to read. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I should really take a leaf out of your book in that sense, because I'm sure it would be rewarding to actually read. And I like reading, but yeah, I've been just lazy about it. Mouse, you have to add me because put you on the security thing where you have to be the one to add people. Totally get that you have that on there. Oh, I have to add you. I have to send you a request. That makes sense. We'll deal with this afterwards. You can message me on Twitch, and I will send you a request after the stream. Yeah, like, I physically can't be the one to do it. Yeah, no problem. Just message me on Twitch, and I will take care of it after stream. Valid mechanic to have that on. Yeah, absolutely. I think I probably added that when I started streaming because I just didn't want to be messaged, like, essentially. didn't want people to be able to message me, I think, other than people I trusted in my community. You know? I think that was probably the reason, is that I just don't. Because also so much of my Twitch, like, well, so much of what I talk about on Twitch is that I aim to not be recognized purely because I want to keep my private life private. And I know that this comic will slowly build in popularity over time. And so I just don't want to be in a position where I have to tell people to not send me friend requests or not, like, contact me outside of certain things. Because, yeah, I've decided I don't like it. I'm just going to add line work for it. It's a difficult game, that one is. Hey, Krebo! Get it? It's like, fucking leave me alone, don't tell me I'll help you get famous bullshit. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I also just want that privacy, that level of privacy. If you know who I am in real life, that's great. Ideally, you'll keep that to yourself. I've only ever been accidentally doxxed once, and that was just because the person who knew me outside of streaming didn't know the whole, like, don't dox me thing. That's all. Hey, Krebo, how you doing? I'm currently drinking BCAA and creatine. I thought you'd appreciate that. Getting my creatine in my system. It's mango-flavored BCAA. Once you reveal yourself to the public, you can't go back, but if you always stay anonymous, it'll always stay that way. Exactly, and that is my intention. Is that I will just always be the mouse for you all. It's always going to be me. You can understand that I will always consistently be the mouse. With a few caveats. Those being in-person appearances. PAX this year, I will be me. Maybe. I may have a mask, but I may not. And if I don't, I can fully trust my community to be respectful of that. Of my identity and stuff like that. And also, it's not that hard to find me IRL. So, because I'm not necessarily making it intentionally difficult. But I'm also, yeah, just being like, hey, don't reveal my identity. If you do, I'll be mad. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And people have been very, very kind and very supportive of that. So, yeah. I've genuinely never had a need to be, like, stern or hardline with people. You know? Like, I've never had to be like, okay, I just need to say, you know, we don't do this. And please don't do this. And I'm not necessarily asking, you know? I've never had to do that, which has been really good. I've been very blessed in that sense, because I don't want to have to be hard on people just because they made a mistake or kind of pushed a thing that I didn't want them to push. Never had to be Big Daddy Graybo, you know? Don't make me bring up Big Daddy Graybo. And it's cool too with Twitch to have a double life. Like, if not for importance, it's just cool. Yes, yeah, for sure. Mass, it's not hard to spot me. Where's digital art streamer who looks like a Skyrim dog? Twirls imaginary fake villain mustache you see in movies. I'm not gonna lie, I have not been a Skyrim nerd for a very long time, I don't think. So actually that makes me harder to find. If anything. That being said, I feel like I'm not that hard to find. I probably don't look like a Skyrim dork anymore either. I've actually been getting comments at work because of my exercise and weightlifting and stuff like that, that I don't look like a dweeb as much as I used to. Okay, then digital art Aussie streamer who's like 6'2". Yeah, but that doesn't narrow it down. That doesn't narrow it down, surely. Um, no, but yeah, I've been getting plenty of comments. Even just today, people saying, hey, you look more fit. You look less unhealthy. And I'm like, thank you. And then I ride that high for days to come. You don't look horrifically ill all the time. You don't look like a heroin addict in remission. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been trying. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just giggling because of how stupid what I'm saying is. Let's make this brown, but slightly lighter brown, which is a brown I already have. Sweet. Sweet. Hell yeah. You look far better and not just normal, but even better than normal. Those compliments be like, no, nothing, nothing quite so sweet. Thank you, of course. But no, the compliments I've been receiving were just like, you've really like filled in your shape, because I've always had quite broad shoulders, but up until now I've not actually filled those in, and things like that. You know, I'm 6'2", but I've always been quite lanky and wiry. Now it's a lot more balanced out. Would you mind checking general Discord chat? Yep, I can do that. You've posted a penis? Hold on. Why is there a picture of newbies? Weird. Oh, did you post hold on. Hey Zombie Slayer, welcome. Don't put that in newbies. I got an actual genuine. I've actually got an actual general. That's just to let people know that someone new's arrived in the Discord. You know where general is. We posted pictures in general. Not general. We do posted pictures in newbies. I'll allow it this once. Let me take a look. The Witcher ones are... I'm not going to be able to identify it by color. Are they the top ones though? You've got the Gears of War books. Holy shit. Nice. Game of Thrones. Nice. Oh, because that was the first chat. I was in. My fault. It's all good. You're okay. I'm not I'm not going to be mad about that stuff. I know other people who would be. Doesn't matter. It's totally okay. It says general. Honestly, it shouldn't. Now that you mention it, though, it shouldn't just lead you straight to newbies. It should lead you to general, and then notify you in newbies. Like, notify that you have been added in newbies. So actually, thank you for for letting me know about that. Because honestly, I think when I started out in as like just a little goblin appearing in other people's streams and stuff, I do think one of the most kind of alienating feeling was that I couldn't navigate other people's discords. I found that quite nerve-wracking. And there are actually even certain discords that I don't go into anymore because they were so alienating, because like you post something in the wrong place and you get like a stern warning for it, and I'm just like, I just didn't know where I was supposed to post this. So like it's one of those things, you know? So I actually, if I can do anything that makes it more easily, if I could do anything that makes the Yakult, which I'm probably going to rename to the Soup, more accessible, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to make my Discord more easy to navigate as well. Is your boy Zombie out here to unintentionally just helping people, so directly send you to general? Yeah, so my idea is that if you click on the link to join the Discord, And once you've hit join, it should send you straight to general as opposed to newbies. That's what I'm thinking. Because then you're in the general chat, you can see what the Discord is all about, more so than the newbies, where you basically just get a notification saying that you've been added to the Discord, and people will wave at you and say hello, and that's great. But that's really all that newbies is for. That's what I'm thinking. And it's a very broad thing, but it's helpful. And, if I'm going to do anything, I want to be able to make the Discord as approachable as possible, because I find, because as your rightful and great leader, I have anxiety about stuff like that. And if I have anxiety about stuff like that, my community should be designed to accommodate for things that would make me anxious. And then by extension, helps anybody else feel less so. It's one of the big things in my mind. Like, I consider the most important is that if I attract an audience of like-minded individuals, then most of you, not most of you, some of you will have anxiety and lifelong anxiety. And I want this to be a place where people don't have to worry about that. So if you, post something in the wrong Discord, that's absolutely not a problem. Do not worry. It's a learning process at most. At worst, it's a learning process. At best, it's a really nice place to hang out. Yeah, it shouldn't be surprising if we are like you in some way. Yeah, well, it's like-minded people, You, your personality, everyone's personality attracts like-minded people. It's why a lot of your friends, like in theory, why a lot of your friends are quite like-minded is because you will over your lifetime just naturally attract people who are like-minded. It's why maybe you might feel a little alienated at work, because work doesn't necessarily attract like-minded people, but it is the closest kind of environment where you have close proximity with people. Welcome back, Krebo. Do you have anxiety? I was just actually in regards to you. Like-minded to me? Sorry, folks. Yeah, cryo is on a different level. I was going to say, I have mango-flavored BCAA and creatine right now that I'm sipping on. That is currently my hydration for tonight. But yeah, I've been collecting them for a few months now. How many of them have I read? Well, again, I bring up my disease called procrastination. Yes. Wait, we post in bookcases. Lego. Yeah. Feel free to post your bookcases. I love looking at people's bookcases. Post it in general. Post it in general. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate you moving it, Zombie Slayer. And yeah, please feel free to post your bookcases, because I love looking at how people set up their bookcases. I think I've posted my bookcase before, so I'm not going to post it again. Or I might do. We'll see. I made chocolate mint protein ice cream. Oh, that sounds amazing. And banana Nesquik and M&M minis for the boy. Oh, have you done like a dad tax though? Because like that sounds delicious. That sounds fantastic. Is this going to be... No, hold on. Sorry, I'm just about to fiddle with certain colors. Yeah, perfect. Should I post in general or pics? You can post in general. Pics works as well. General is just for general stuff, so you can kind of pretty much post anything there, as long as it's not too not safe for work, Currently, my Discord is the Wild West, to a certain degree. It's totally fine either way. Again, completely unbothered. I will tell you, I recently got coffee flavored protein powder, and I've now been having that in the evenings instead of a evening coffee. holy crap, that's changed my life. It's so good. And also just not actual caffeine. You know, it's perfect. It has changed my existence for the better. Give it just a little... That's slightly too dark. That's still slightly too dark. Hold on, let me get my reference. I need to make sure this colorization is proper. The big book at the bottom is the Dishonored 2 art book. Ooh! Oh, I was like looking at the bookshelf and I didn't realize I was looking at Glenn's and I was just like, wait, this bookshelf has changed. Oh, sick. That's good. Although you've never drunk coffee. What you do with this stream? That's okay. Coffee's not for everybody. Okay, so it's a slightly lighter brown. Yeah, that's a beautiful bookcase as well, Glenn. What are you reading? What have you been reading? Some good colors there. Oh. Actually, you know what? I may as well post my bookshelf after stream. Y'all are all doing it. It looks like fun. Apart from The Hobbit and Picture Dorian Gray, they're all unread. That's also fair enough. You're not going to receive any judgment here for not having read the books in your shelf. When I post my bookshelf, you got to understand that I've not read a lot of them. I've read a few of them, but not a lot. So it's almost slightly desaturated. That's better. Okay, there we go. Top lip is slightly darker, slightly lighter than that though. And I always like to inject just a little bit of vibrancy into stuff. Oh no! Oh no! King Julian, I'm trying to explain how I color things, and then somebody... Did you see Lumen stuff about D&D miniature painting night? I did! It looked great! I painted Cthulhu. Cthulhu is my favorite. I've never had... You know what? I'll tell you. Mort has never had a patron that was Cthulhu. Only King Julian. Only King Julian. But he's great as well. He's just as good. Just as good as Cthulhu. Just as mysterious. Just as sexy. Who was that? I heard a laugh from somebody else. That wasn't Mort. Share Cthulhu painting and art. Thank you so much, Cryo. That would be great. Oh, my voice is going. Oh, what a terrible existence. How did I add this as a redeem? Mavool and a Mort hat. Oh, it's gone. Oh, I'm done. I'm free. I am free from this hell. This hellscape. Perfection. Yes, I can return to my smooth, dulcet tones. That redeemed again. Ah! What color? What would Armella be more of a silver or a gold? I think more of a gold, really, let's be honest. I already knew this. Oh, grey sock puppet. Hold on, I can change that for you. So the thing about the grey sock puppet, the reason why the redeem doesn't immediately work is because its hotkey crashed the stream. Would crash the stream. So that's why I've had to change it by hand currently. So there we go. It also means there's no timer. So somebody remind me when like a few minutes is up. It can be however long you want, but yeah. You are free from nothing. I am always free. Grey Sock doesn't have a voice like any other. He's actually more smooth. I painted him purple to use him as like a mind flayer behemoth. That's fucking awesome. That's such a good idea. Holy shit. I love that. Okay, everyone set your timer to an hour. I'm not going to be here in an hour. I'm going to close the stream. delete my online presence by then. There's nothing y'all can do about that. God, these little white dots. I fucking hate them. 2 hours. Do it. Go ahead. Next time I'm on is Thursday. 2 hours will have passed. It's the last time I trust y'all with anything. You've all let me down. What's her sun hat going to... What color is that going to be? Probably 7 days. Jesus. Greysock is a really sweet character, though, so I'm actually not against that. That's a good color. Pardon me. Sorry, guys, I burped. Apologies. Just a gassy little mouse. Ooh. I don't know why I said that. I have ashamed my people. Soup has no disappointment. Good. Good, the soup. I love that now the collective for you all is just the soup, as if we're some sort of weird cult. Some super weird mentalist cult. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of it. I'd like to get the Resident Evil books, but I have to get more into Resident Evil. That's fair. We are a cult. I have actually had to, I'm not gonna lie, the times I've had to explain what I do on Twitch and stuff like that has always been, it's never been easy. And it's because I also have to explain you all. And then I have to explain, it's not a cult. Well, it kind of is. And I always say it like that. I'm just like, it's not a cult. Well, actually, it kind of is. It's a place where we all gather, talk about similar ideas, and then we all kind of speak praise to a mouse. But you could say that about Disneyland. Now there's a Fallout 3 guidebook and wow, Fallout New Vegas, comic, those are cool. Yes, I've heard of them. Have you actually, Zombie Slayer, have you seen the TV series? I'm curious to get your opinion on it. Great, I draw art and some wackos made a cult. Yeah, I was just kind of here. A cult kind of just appeared around me. That's not my fault. But more like a guild. I like guild. I like the guild. That sounds nicer than cult. It's easier to explain. The amount of work colleagues I've had to go, it's not a cult. It's like, they're just people who hang out. Disney is a cult. You have a really good point there, Cryo. I've had to explain, it's not a cult. People just, show up and chat to me, hang out. And sometimes we incite very obscure mental ideas. It's not a cult, though. And I am revered as a mouse god, essentially. And then they're just like, well, that sounds like a cult with extra steps. And I'm just like, well, no. And they're just like, do you financially gain from it? And I'm like, a little. But it's not about the money. And they're like, that sounds like a cult. And I'm just like, well, no. It's a commune, yeah. Okay, but I've never asked this, but are there people you know or have met that don't have any idea about what Twitch is and when you have to explain the very basics of Twitch? Yeah, absolutely. All the time. Genuinely all the time. It's a commune. Definitely not a cult. Just a commune that praises Ra. Yeah. Wait a second. Praises Ra, the commune? Have you been watching This Paranormal Life? Cryo? Have you been listening to This Paranormal Life? Because that's exactly what they do. Hey Gray, how do I sign over all my worldly possessions to you? Well, that's a tough one because I don't want import tax. So I would recommend you don't. Purely because I don't want to pay tax. Which I don't because of this cult thing. Can you imagine? The soup does call for sacrifice. We literally do sacrifice people to the soup every single stream. We gotta stop doing that. We're scaring away new friends. We're scaring away new people. What the fuck? I just glanced and I saw that there's just a web address to giving me stuff. I have zero reference for the Fallout show. I know that their ratings are pretty good, like both audience and official score were both 80% positive, but I haven't gotten to it myself because as a fan of several series or a future fan of some series, and I've been constantly disappointed by what's happened to them. A Halo show, the recent Halo games are shit, Rings of Power was shit. As a Lord of the Rings fan, not a Witcher fan yet, the show is shit, etc., etc. Yeah, that's all really good points. I've heard very good things about it. I do trust the team that has made it to a certain degree. And the lead is great. She's Jinx from the Arcane series, the Arcane animated series. And she has played the games, which is a good sign because we love Henry Cavill, and he read the books and played the games of The Witcher. So we can't blame him for The Witcher turning out to be garbage. So I trust that, at the very least. So I can't say if the show is good or bad or whatever else. Buys the domain. No, don't buy the domain givegreymassallmyshit.com. I mean, I'm sure no one's taken it. But that being said, that shouldn't be encouragement to take it. Give Greymass Inc. allmyshit.com. I'm going to have to tell people about that. That's just so funny. Do not buy the domain givegreymassallmyshit.com, please, for the love of God. I don't want all your shit. I don't have space for it. I don't have space for my shit. So I'm going to let the show play out and just get ready for disappointment instead of enjoy the episodes and then, oh shit, there was a bad ending because the writers didn't know the difference between their ass and the hole in the ground. Yeah, and that's fair. I think I'm going to do the same. I'm going to wait out the series and see how it ends. I think that's a really smart way of doing it. Also, yes, I've been listening to This Paranormal Life. Yes! Finally, another who is obsessed with it. I'm so happy to hear that. As soon as you referenced the commune, I knew something was up. And I was like, I've got someone I could talk to about paranormal stuff. You're not my dad, and even if you are, I don't listen to authority. I feel like I taught you that. As a father figure, as a mouse father figure, I taught you to not listen to authority or pay tax. I saw that cover poster thing was AI generated, which left an awful taste in your mouth. That's a really fair point, honestly. You are fair there. Honestly, I struggle to support stuff like that too. If it is good, great, but as an artist, it does bother me. And sadden me as well, just pay an artist. They don't actually cost that much. Now the Last of Us was good. It was of course good. Just haven't watched it yet. Whatever it is that's in the show, I'm watching it as it was mostly good. Yeah. Oh, hey, it's only $100. What for the domain? Is that a lot or a little for a domain? I don't know. I'm not a domain knowledge mouse. I don't know domains. In English, what I meant to say was, I don't know domains. I'm not a domain mouse. Domain knowledge mouse. I don't know what that means. For a .com domain, that's a steal. Ah, interesting. And from what I know, a .org domain is very expensive because it's organization. Also, I mean, this has nothing to do with anything really, but recently I didn't apply to a job in Adelaide. There was an opening for an illustrator position with a company that makes books and book art in Adelaide that was looking for a new illustrator, and I did. So I went through the application process, but I let them know that I have a full-time job and I'm very happy in my full-time job. But I was interested in building a network with them. and the recruiter sent back like the sweetest message I've ever received, where they were like, basically they said, "Thank you for reaching out to us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being so like honest and upfront with us. We'll send your application through so that it can be looked at and reviewed by the people in charge. Have the loveliest of days, like have the loveliest day." And I was like, "Oh, that's really sweet. That's a really sweet sign off." And also, and I think the like ending tagline was like "kindest of regards," and I was like, "That's so sweet. Like that's like the sweetest way to end an email, which you don't need to do." The show is supposed to be, from what I heard, good. I could be wrong, canon and not an adaptation, so it could either be really good or really bad. Now, I know nothing about gambling, but if it was Vegas and I had to gamble everything I own and all my money, I'd bet that the first few episodes would be good and the rest is shit. Hey, maybe. I mean, potentially. Very potentially. Show's going to be mid overall? Potentially. Also potentially. I don't think it's going to change the world, that's for sure. But honestly, I'm actually willing to settle for okay on Fallout. If the Fallout show is okay at best, then I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. I don't think it's going to be astoundingly good. I think the people who praised the One Piece live action as being like the best thing ever and just as good as the original are idiots. Or not idiots. That's harsh. That's too harsh. Grey Mouse. Be nice. Be kind. I don't think they know how to analyze media well, because I have enjoyed the One Piece live action. However, I've recognized trends in it that are not good. Trends that could spell disaster for its later seasons. That's almost worse, because if it was bad, then at least we learn what not to do. But if something is just so mediocre, then we learn nothing and can improve on nothing. I don't mean mediocre. I mean, yeah, for them going to be mid overall, that would suck, yeah. But I think if it's good and just okay, like doesn't break the bounds of cinema or story writing, then I think that's fine. I think that's okay. And I think in this modern culture, we are maybe too harsh on things that are just okay. Or just there to be entertaining. Sorry, not just okay. Just there to be entertaining. I think more often than not, we are far too harsh on media that is designed to just entertain. The One Piece live action is, in my opinion, the best live action anime adaptation so far. Absolutely, I do agree with that. I do, however, see issues in its story writing, which will make the second season more difficult to produce. It's probably also going to have some pretty awful CGI. Oh yeah, I'm terrified of what Chopper will look like. Like, genuinely, I'm really scared of what Chopper will look like. I love all the cast for the live action series. They are great. They're really, really good. I don't think you could have gotten a better cast for the live action, because they fell into their roles so well, and their dynamic and chemistry with each other is so, so good. So that in itself is almost worth its weight in gold, I believe. But I will say, as someone who loves One Piece, and did enjoy the live action, I definitely think the One Piece live action is good enough. I'm just worried about the second season, because it's establishing stuff that will make it more difficult to make the second season good. Also concerned with what they're going to do with the giants. Yeah, honestly, the size scaling in One Piece is going to be horrifyingly difficult for the live action, because they didn't increase the scale on Arlong. So at what point do they actually have to start going, no, we have to make this character huge? As a person who wants to be a Fallout lore nerd, I'm going to watch the show with the biggest, most bestest wrong wording. I know, okay, it's totally okay. Magnifying glass. Sorry, not sorry, but if you're going to make the show, then make it similar to the games. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I think it's, so far from what I've seen, it's done a lot. It actually references New Vegas as well, interestingly enough, which I'm a big fan of. Because I fucking love New Vegas. But I think it's done a really good job, and even from the, they made Codsworth practical. So the Codsworth that you see in the series is a practical effect. I want to watch the new Fallout show because it's apparently quite good. Yeah. Oh, Wiki wants to watch it. Yeah. Well, I've heard some good things about it. It also makes me just want to play New Vegas again, which is fantastic. I don't, like, if something's going to give me the excuse to play a Fallout game, I'm all for it. Kind of excited for Mr. 3, though. That's fair. You're a practical effect. You're a practical effect. How dare you fucking say that to me? Get him out of here. No, I'm joking. We've only ever timed out one person in this chat, and it was Lumen, as a joke. So we're not timing out people for jokes anymore. Because nothing will ever be that funny. You're a practical effect. How fucking dare you? How could you say that to me after everything I've done for you? What have I done for you? Nothing. I just am here. I exist. You're a practical effect with subpar CGI. You son of a fucking bitch. How dare you? How could you fucking say that to me? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me crash the stream for a second. How could you fucking say that to me? You son of a bitch. You son of a fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. Shockingly not me. How could you fucking say that to me? I'm a streamer. How could you say that to me? Because the time is up as well. That's fine if the show isn't a one-to-one, which if you expect that you're going to get your hopes up too high, that's on you. But I will unapologetically be the unactually person when watching it, whenever it happens. That's fair. That could be interesting. Something I've started to do. And I'm the viewer. Whatever, nerd. Sorry, getting very sidetracked. No, that's totally cool. Something I have started doing is that I now refer to stuff alongside as opposed to instead of, and to explain that I'm going to use the One Piece live action again. But instead of being like, this isn't right because it was like this in the anime, I'm now more like, oh, that's interesting because in the anime it was like this. But I also try and see the reasoning behind why it was changed. I also did this for the Castlevania TV series because when I first watched through it, Season 3 and Season 4 annoyed me so deeply that I actually ended up hating the show completely. Then I got the art book because I still love the art and the illustrative style. And I also wanted to learn how they highlight the way that they do. And through the art book, I slowly began to learn the reasons why they made certain decisions in the story, because it helped accommodate for the animation in certain ways, or help it accommodated and was more loyal to adapting the games, which I thought was really interesting. And as a result, as someone who didn't play the games, it didn't alienate me from the story, but did make me realize that in fact the things that I had issue with were things that were made and designed to appeal to the people who played the games, and it was fan service, and that's why it didn't make sense to me, because it was added in because the storyline, like the storytelling, had gone through years of development and changed, or had gone through years of development and not changed because it was, storytelling from this certain period of time in history. I also got some Game of Thrones encyclopedia books. They're like what expands on the wider universe and all the deep lore, random lore stuff that happens like 9,000 years ago. And then one book is explaining literally everything about the Targaryens, so that will be interesting to read. Oh, cool. Like, it'll be like the Silmarillion for Lord of the Rings. Which is very cool. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that in my nerd voice. I actually genuinely meant that. I genuinely meant it. The whole, that will be cool. I'm not mocking you. I promise, I'm not actually mocking you. I get it if certain things happen and thus affects the story. There's budgeting issues, corporate shit, licensing, hiring the right people, schedules, but why do they have to put in so tucked away? Like, why in some art book barely anyone will be reading that? Yeah, that does annoy me too, I will admit. Is that if you can't and this was my stance on the Star Wars sequels, is that if you can't explain a plot convenience or an aspect to the story that ended up being convenient for the protagonist, a Deus Ex Machina, if you will, without using evidence from a book that wasn't, like, that isn't referenced or doesn't exist in your movie or show, then you haven't explained it at all. I think one of the most annoying things in the world that almost ruined Knives Out for me is that Rian Johnson reacts to criticism or constructive criticism like a toddler, and it really frustrates me. To a deep level, it frustrates me that Rian Johnson reacts to constructive criticism and feedback like a child. Because Knives Out is a fantastic movie, and I love Knives Out. However, his response to someone asking why Rey just kind of had Force healing at the end of Rise of Skywalker was him to open up a book that he doesn't reference at all in his movie and then go, "You're an idiot," to this actually very valid criticism. Hold on, have you read The Silmarillion? That's quite the read. I haven't read The Silmarillion. I have The Silmarillion. It's one of my books that I haven't finished. Haven't started. Sorry. It's on my shelf. I haven't finished it. I have read The Hobbit, though. I have finished The Hobbit. That's it. But it's also because I used to read The Hobbit to my brother when we were kids. I used to do voices and stuff. I was all the dwarves and Bilbo Baggins and Smaug and Gandalf. Fool of a took, Bilbo. Because I only knew Sir Ian McKellen's version, so I just did a Sir Ian McKellen Gandalf impression anytime I voiced Gandalf. Of course, some stuff will happen. Obviously, you can't have it all be perfect. That's fine. But who said make it such deep lore that maybe 10%, 5% of people will be reading, even if that? Yeah, my perspective is that you need to be able to explain everything that happens in your story, because that's part of making, like, the laws of reality of your world, is that you need to establish laws and then follow them. Don't worry, I know you weren't making fun of me. All good. I know you wouldn't do that without at least being funny, which you often have been. Oh, thank you. I love that you added often. Because, like, for broadly speaking, that is a compliment, and it's a very nice compliment. Thank you so much, Zombie Slayer. But then also, because you said often, it establishes that maybe sometimes I'm not funny. I love that. I think that's so fun, like, so ironically really funny. You shall not pass the soup. Peregrine Took. And Merylwyn Brandybuck. I can't remember Mary's actual name. Merylwyn. That's Hagrid. I should not have said that. I should not have said that. Or if not funny, at least give some interesting perspectives. Yeah, absolutely. I do realize it's been 2 hours. I'm gonna just go a little bit longer. I'm not gonna finish the shadow layers. I need to be consistent and finish up, of course, but I just want to finish the shadows on Armella's face, because I've ended up being really happy with how Armella's face has turned out. After having started the stream being like, I am not convinced. This is not my Armella. It just looks a little off. And I'm going to be using my references more so that I can actually draw their faces consistently, draw people's faces consistently. And one of the faces I want to get right is Armella's, because 1, she's very pretty. And 2, she's got a very detailed face. Her face is like super detailed, because it's got these very interesting scars, which we will be getting a little lore into in this chapter, which yeah, it's important. Peregrine Took. What about died alongside friend? Wait, that's not him. Funny thing, hobbits. They never know when they're going to go on a great adventure. And I agree. You should be explaining your universe rules in the main source, not in some random book, even if it's good or entertaining. That does invalidate that maybe 1 out of 10 people will be reading. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one thing that I'm consciously aware of. I mean, like, everything I'm saying here is stuff that I'm consciously aware of, and I will be doing everything I can to remain loyal to. Because this is a comic, a lot of the expanded universe stuff will be in other comics. But my intention is that when this comic is completely finished, you can read the Rat Baby series and understand the world. And understand it fully. Like, as much as you need to. And then the spin-off series will give you insight into additional aspects of it, but nothing that invalidates or validates anything that you read in this series. And I thought that was really important, is that I need to establish rules in this comic that the rest of the comics follow, even the ones outside of Ratchet's story. Because all of them are set in the same universe. However, some of them have different power scaling levels. Because we're gonna, like, the other spin-offs will follow protagonists who are significantly more powerful than Ratchet. And that's with an intention. That's for a point. However, they still follow the established rules of the world in the same way Ratchet does. Unfortunately, that's how it is with some of the Halo games. Oh, what's that? You didn't read the 36 Halo books? Well, sorry, buddy, but you won't understand what in the hell is happening in this game, and that's your fault. And that's why I hate said games. Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's actually one thing I really like about the Assassin's Creed games, up to a certain point. I haven't played any of the newer ones, so I can't comment on them. But, for example, Assassin's Creed Unity is, well, all the earlier Assassin's Creed games are all really quite self-contained, but they have books, they have expanded books, and these expanded books talk about aspects that actually end up linking them together, like linking the histories together. So we learn that Arno's lover, or the love of his life, I can't remember her name, I think it's like Emily or something like that, because I'm not gonna lie, the Assassin's Creed people are not super inventive when it comes to naming stuff like that, naming lovers and enemies and things like that. But basically, we find out that Arno's lover, Emily, I think, was trained by Edward's daughter. So Edward from Black Flag. And we find this out because she was after the events of 3, she had to basically rescue herself from being sold into slavery, essentially, or sold into like sex trade or something like that, sex trafficking, which is horrible storyline because Edward, the character who is really hard not to like, is murdered. Spoilers for Assassin's Creed, guys. But it's really good supplementary material because you find out about characters who you knew in previous games that don't really get conclusive endings because they didn't need conclusive endings. If you know what I mean. Now, a good way of doing supplementary lore is with Gears of War. You get the feeling that it's the end of humanity situation, but just a piece of random lore is that citizens were told to have essential supplies in a bag ready at all times. If they had to evacuate the city and just run, that's cool, but you also didn't need to know that. Yeah, it's all unnecessary supplementary material, but that's also what supplementary material, for the most part, is so, like, social knowledge, essentially. Knowledge of people and aspects unrelated or slightly related to, but superfluous to the story. Which I'd like to do for this comic, but then also I want to do properly as well. That's book lore, but it's very not needed. But no, Ryan Johnson, as you said, has zero idea how to write a story with consistent rules. Well, that's the problem. That's not necessarily true, because he wrote and directed Knives Out, and Knives Out is fantastic. It's a fantastic mystery series, but and to his credit, it is probably because of the Disney producers who are just like, you have to do it this way, to a certain degree. What I disliked was how he handled the criticism. It's because he handled it like a big baby, which is not how you handle criticism. You're going to handle it gracefully, to a certain degree. But it is also super disappointing because he should know better and should be able to do better because he did Knives Out, and Knives Out is fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. It can sometimes be disappointing. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting too into this drawing because I love Armella's character and her design. Anyway, we gotta go. I gotta go shower, I gotta go sleep, I gotta go maybe eat some bread. So let's save and then we'll export this out. And all this time, Machamp has been right behind me, giving me a thumbs up. Supporting me the entire way. What a freaking lad. 50% quality because I do not want to destroy my storage. Storage? You have to go? Okay, fine. I do. I gotta go sleep. Because I gotta go to the gym in the morning. And then I gotta go to work. And then I gotta make poops in the toilet. All important things. Promise you'll come back? Nay. Wow, that was really loud. I'm so sorry. No. I will be back. I'll be back on Thursday with video games. Also, I'm planning on doing a Sunday stream every second week. So that'll be next week, just for ease. Nay. Yeah. Just for ease of, like, scheduling. It'll be next week. But that stream will be another art stream in which I work on things that I need to get done. So that'll be deadline day. It'll return to being deadline day, but for other projects. Why did I feel you go so close to the mic? It's because I did. I was like, here. Hello. But yeah, so Sunday, every second Sunday will be like a deadline day where I work on things that I want to get done soon so that I can work more on the comic. Because I think that, because I've got the tarot to work on, and then I've also got the cookbook to work on. Both pieces of supplementary material for the comic that will actually be very useful. But did you ever want to do the Korra watch thing? I know you're busy and that is totally fine, but do you want to do it? Like for sure, like potentially. It's just, yeah, it is really just a matter of time and then also access to it. I'm trying to think of a good, like, finding a good way to stream Legend of Korra is almost the biggest issue. And in a way that everyone can watch. So I'm figuring that out, but I think it's doable. But again, yeah, it's got to be timing, you know. See you later. Take care of yourself, Goblin One. Thank you, Zombie Slayer. We'll see what we can do. I'll figure it out one day. It may be a near future thing, as per. Okay, now looking at who to raid. So we've got Enya, we got Suited, we got a Crafty Jellyfish. Again, I know barely anything about Korra, so I need someone to watch it with and suffer with. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, right? But I'll open it up to the entire community, to the entire soup. I think that's the best way, because then also it'll allow us all to just chill and hang out. We got Turn-based Dave is playing Sekiro. If you watch it by yourself, you might actually just quit. That's also my concern too. I feel like I'll just quit too. Oh, Suited is on the comic grind, so I feel like let's go say hi to Suited. Sona is there. Sona's already in that one. And you can finally hear my voice. That's true. I don't feel like that's ever necessarily a reason to compel me to do something, but it is tempting, just so that I can hear the voices of my community. Hold on, let me just set to the right thing. Anywho, Suited. On our way. Bye-bye. Let's get moving. Alright, I'll see you all on Thursday. Go give Suited some love. We adore her. She's the best. And go and be the rainbow in somebody else's day, because you've already done so much here. See you all next time.